Okay, hey everybody, this is Josh Shanley with Ryan Hartman, and we've got a very special presentation for you here today. We're going to be talking about direct mail, how you can use direct mail to grow your business. And our special guest today is a woman by the name of Julie Escobar. Now, Julie has been involved in real estate training and marketing and the like for over 25 years. She's actually
That's it.
What's that?
That seems like a long time when you say it out loud.
Well, you bring a lot of experience. We'll just say that, and we'll say that you got started in the trade at like 8.
Oh, see, now you're my best friend.
So Julie is a syndicated columnist. Has been published in Realty Times, Riz Media, Broker Agent News, and the like. She is the marketing director with Prospects Plus, which we're going to be talking a lot about on this call. And she specializes in helping real estate agents and brokers take their business to the next level and get more out of their business and sort of grow their business with, in particular, direct mail and postcards. So the reason that we wanted to bring this to you is as part of our traffic school, a new training program that Ryan and I have released with Reticulous.com, one of the modules is all about what we're calling fusion marketing, which is taking people offline to online or just simply using offline methods for marketing. And Prospects Plus, without question, is the #1 source for postcard marketing for real estate professionals. So that's why we're having Julie on. Basically, I'm going to turn it over to Julie, and Ryan and I are going to chime in with some questions and points of clarification. But she's got some really great stuff for you to take a look at. Definitely have a pen and paper handy because you're going to want to take notes. Plus, Julie's going to share a whole bunch of free resources that you can use in conjunction with all of the Reticulous sort of online generation strategies that we teach you. So without further ado, why don't you take it away, Julie?
Thank you so much, both Josh and Ryan. I appreciate you guys having me on today. As we talked about a little bit earlier, I am very passionate about helping real estate agents leverage their sphere of influence, build their book of business. I think one of the things, especially in the last couple of years, as you probably know, is it was really kind of disturbing how many agents just left the business without anything to show for it. When the going got tough, they had to get out, and they didn't really have a saleable book of business. So that's something that I'm very passionate about, making sure that agents are building that saleable book of business where they're growing their sphere and they're able to have an exit strategy at the end of their career, so that when it is time to leave, they've got this wonderful sphere of influence that they know who these people are, when they sold them, why they sold them, a little bit about them, so that they can then turn that over and sell that either to a top team, a top agent, a top organization. So it's really important to make sure that you're staying in touch. You hear a lot about top-of-mind marketing, and I think that's more important now than it's ever been. You know, consumers right now are very savvy. You know, they're whizzing through the internet like experts, where in the past, agents really kind of had the upper hand. They had the knowledge base, the upper hand. But consumers are pretty smart these days, so it's really important that agents stay ahead of that curve and to be able to offer smart solutions and resources that people are looking for. One of the first things that I wanted to share with you, and thank you for bringing up direct mail. There's a lot of talk about the demise of direct mail, but I think it's really coming back, and it's coming back in force. In fact, it's never really gone away. But what's cool is that so many people have stopped using direct mail. So there's all that real estate in those mailboxes that you can take advantage of.
Yeah, that's a great...
And because of the economic shift, what's neat is that more and more people are turning to online resources and turning to their mailbox looking for coupons and looking for great offers and looking for what's going to make sense for them and their family. So it is important that you drive people online from an offline source, because we know that more than 80% of the people out there that are looking to buy or sell a home are starting online. But how do you get them to find you? That's the important thing, and you can do that using direct mail. One of the things that I wanted to talk about first is our resource section, and we're very proud of this, and we update this on a regular basis. if you go to prospectsplus.com and look to our resource section, the first thing on there is our free reports page. And what I love about this page is that we're constantly updating it, and we're giving you tools that you can use to not only feature or enhance your direct mail solutions, but really enhance your website, enhance your ability to really stand out in your market as a resource that people can turn to. Here's our latest report. It's called How to Save for a Down Payment, and I'll just pull that up so that you can take a look at what some of the things that we're doing. It's going to take a minute, obviously.
And Julie, you mentioned that any agent can download these and use them for their own their own use for lead generation or lead capture, correct?
They can.
Yeah.
They can just go for an online. They can just sign up. It doesn't cost anything to sign up for the site. We have new pieces come up. Literally every other month or so. You can see we've got kind of a wide spectrum of pieces that people can choose from.
And Ryan, I'm putting you on the spot.
Pardon?
Sorry, I'm going to put Ryan on the spot and say, Ryan, maybe we can develop some squeeze page templates for our members around these reports.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just thinking.
Kind of caused you more work today, did you, Ryan?
That's all right. I'm a little behind. Got to build some more of those templates. Quick question. You said go online and sign up. There's a special place to go? Should we just include a link under this? We're gonna have it in our members area under the recording.
Sure. They just go to prospectsplus.com, and I'm already signed in, obviously, but there'll be a little link right up here to sign up if they're not currently members. And what's neat about that is once they sign up for the site, then they'll always know when we've got new pieces available. And they can use these, as you were saying, Josh, they can use these, download these reports, save them to their computer. They can then upload those to their site. They can use them, as you're saying, on a squeeze page as an opt-in piece. They can use it as a fair trade to when they're going over to for a listing appointment. They can put them in their listing packages. So there's some really great pieces in here.
And there's no cost to create an account, right, Julie? There's no...
no cost to create an account.
There's obviously a cost to send direct mail, but just to create an account to take advantage of these free resources, there's no cost. It's just a matter of filling out some fields.
Correct.
Great.
And what we like to do is kind of give agents an idea. Agents are like, okay, well, how do I use this, and what pieces do I use this with? And as you can see, we kind of give them some ideas. We've got a renter series for this one, for example. We know a lot of people are still renting, but we also know that right now is a great time to buy, and it's actually more cost-effective to own a home than it is to rent in a lot of ways. So we kind of give them a mailing frequency to every 21 to 30 days. Obviously, if you're working with an expired, you'll see some of that down below. That frequency is going to be a little bit faster, that kind of thing. So we kind of give, like, here's an expired, use every 3 to 5 days after that listing's expired. So you can see that we've got some different target audiences, different mailing frequencies. We kind of give people some good ideas on how to use their marketing, why to use their marketing, and who to use that marketing with. You probably, I'm sure you've been in the business long enough, you understand the importance of really kind of speaking to your audience. You know, you wouldn't speak to an investor the same way as you would talk to a first-time home buyer, for example.
Sure.
So your marketing really shouldn't either. So we really like to give agents a lot of options so that they really can match their marketing to their market. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes a ton of sense. Absolutely.
So I really love the ability to do, like, this is the move-up market, that type of thing. We have templates for that. So I love that agents can really kind of match that message to their market segment. You wanted to talk a little bit about some of the postcards and the direct mail that's really getting some high response. So I wanted to show you our postcard gallery, which literally has, just a huge spectrum of postcard campaigns available. One of my favorite right now, since we are talking about fusion marketing and driving offline traffic online, is our On the Web series. So if we click on that, you can see there's 15 in this series, and there's a lot. Follow me on Facebook. So if you want to drive people to your blog or to your social media, This is a great way to do it, and they're nice cards, and they're a fast way to get people to really connect with you and to get involved in that conversation. You know, social media is a really powerful tool in terms of being able to speak one to many. So this really allows you to do that.
So, for example, we teach one of our kind of most popular trainings is how to create a Facebook fan page and to grow that page to grow your business. So they could use a card like this to their existing sphere to get, you know, as many of those folks to come, you know, and like their page and start engaging with their page. So perfect example of the fusion concept, taking people offline.
Exactly, and that's a great thing to teach. You know, agents are oftentimes really perplexed. Okay, well, Facebook is great for connecting with the people I knew in high school, but how do I use it in my business? And creating an online community page is a great way to do that. And this allows you to drive them. Like, say you had a farm area, doing a page specifically for that farm area, really making it relevant to those folks. This is a great way to invite them to participate and to stay part of the conversation and for you to do that, connecting one to many.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. And I'm taking a lot of notes here because now I have a lot of stuff to put in the existing members area for different sections. So this is great.
I'll probably need to slow down, huh? It's not really fast.
We got you, but this is a flood. This is great. Yep.
And we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have LinkedIn, obviously. We also have some pieces that are not specific to a certain social media, and that's a great way to drive people to your blog. Blogging obviously is a very important tool to use and a great communication method. So this allows them to do that as well.
So just a quick question. I assume that you'll be able to modify these templates, these cards.
Mm-hmm.
Great, yeah, because one of the things we just dropped out was the ability to create personalized URLs. That are basically pages that automatically target to an individual prospect or a neighborhood, but you don't have to rebuild the page every time.
Right. And then you see, like right here, it's got linkedin.com, your address. So when we go to build this card, that will actually be in the field. So we can actually do that if you'd like, and we can walk through this since this is a little bit different than some of the other cards that we have because it does have this extra field in it. So say I wanted to purchase, if I wanted to purchase just the card or I wanted to purchase the campaign, you can do both. I want to do a Facebook campaign, so I'm just going to choose the Facebook ones. So I like to deselect all and then start over because that's just my little modus operandi. So say I'm going to choose these three. I'm going to send these 3 cards out for the next 3 months to my sphere of influence. So I'm going to choose those cards. Yep, the ability to choose jumbo or standard. I should have been from Texas. I'm of that go big or go home school, so... Here's where you're allowed to put your Facebook address in here. So we're going to do that. We're going to check out the back, and this is where you can write. If you're long and windy like me, you can do that, or you the actual alternative allows you a little bit more room. Sorry, sometimes when you're on GoToMeeting, it makes everything a little...
No, yeah,
so you can write whatever you like. You can go through and make sure it says what you want it to say, make any changes that you'd like. This is pulling actually from my account. When you first sign up online, it's going to ask you to fill out a profile, and we'll go through some of that in a little while as well. And here you can always go back to it here. But for time constraints, we'll just keep going. We'll hit next. This is going to ask you for your list. We do house Experian databases on our servers, so we have the ability to help agents actually build a list. I found that agents are eager to market a lot of times. They're excited to market. They like that idea, but they really have that roadblock in that, okay, well, I don't know who to send to, or I don't have my list ready, or I've got stickers, which, that's just not going to work in the digital content. So we have the ability to help them do that, and if they want to purchase a list, we can actually help them do that with radial searches. So it makes it really fast, really easy. They can just start with the street address. It'll then radiate. So say I took a listing on 123 Main Street. Then we can do a radial search of 123 Main Street, and I can go to the closest 200, 300, however many people around that I want, and pick and choose. There's also a residential neighborhood, which gives you a little bit more access in that you can go in and you can choose demographics such as how much household income, age in the property, that type of thing. So it gives you a little...
This feature is awesome. I use this in my own practice with another provider, a few years ago, and this is everything. This feature. Otherwise, you're just going to be spending time buying lists and researching your MLS.
Exactly. And what's cool about it is that you also have the ability to. I mean, once you buy these lists, they're yours to keep. The records are 8 cents a record, so you're really not going to find data that inexpensive anywhere, and it's not a rented list. In other words, in some cases where you would get a list, you would have to repurchase that list each time. That's not the case here. Once you have the list, it's yours to do with what you want. In fact, we never are advocates of sending something once to a list. As you probably know, the success really comes in showing up multiple times. Everybody can show up once, but really in order to have that top-of-mind awareness, in order to become a brand name in the minds of those consumers, you really have to show up over and over again. I think the stats are most agents quit after 3 times if they get that far, but most transactions really occur after 5 contacts. So you really have to kind of stay in the trenches if you want to really have that top of mind. We know that it takes 3 contacts just for somebody to go, okay, I recognize that name. It takes 7 contacts for them to put your name with your business. Oh, that's Julie, and she's in real estate. And it takes 27 contacts to really have that brand awareness. So keep that in mind when you're building a list. Instead of doing a shotgun approach of 1,000 people, start with a couple hundred and really build that sphere, really connect. I mean, when you talk about sphere of influence, the really important word in that is influence, right? So it's okay to have 1,000 names, but if they don't know you, trust you, like you, know who you are and what you do, then there's really not that influence. So I think that's really important, is to really kind of start, even if you're starting off smaller, to really build that relationship. And relationship marketing is, that's key. Yep.
Can I butt in with a little tip that's just one of my favorite approaches? You probably already know about it, and a lot of people listening do. I used to use this. If you're going into a market where you don't have any listings or you don't have any presence at all, you can actually snipe other just sold and just listed, right? I'm sure a lot of people have thought of this, but you just don't do it. So your competitors probably aren't consistently sending a just sold card, but the fact that the property down the street was just for sale is going to be on the person's mind. So you can easily send a just sold by a competitor, right?
Right.
Yeah. So for all the newbies out there who don't have any inventory to speak of, this can be used that way.
Well, and that's a great point. And I've talked to agents over and over again who have really done just what you're saying. They've actually gone into a market area as a newbie and taken that market share from an agent who's been there for a long time, because that agent kind of got a little complacent and didn't do what they need to be doing, and that's staying in touch and staying in front of those consumers. So you're absolutely right. That's a great tip. I'm just going to click on my list because obviously I've got a bunch in here that we've got. All you need to do is either build your list. You can upload your list if you already have your sphere of influence in an Excel spreadsheet, that type of thing. You can just upload it as a CSV file, or you can use the current list. So obviously, as a new person, you would do one of the second two.
I see the recruiting list in there. That's great.
I am a huge fan of helping brokers recruit the right people for their offices, and we can show you some of those pieces as well. I love working with brokers and helping them build their business. Here's where we can schedule. You can do every 7 days, every 14 days, every 21 days. If you're just influence marketing, is a really great number. That's a direct marketing association recommendation. Obviously, if you're doing expireds or FSBOs, you're going to want to ramp that up. You're going to want to do more every 7 days or even every 3 to 4 days. Because those people are usually getting marketed pretty heavy, so you want to be the one, the front runner in their mind. But let's do every 21 days. You also have the ability to to go in and kind of pick and choose which days, if you'd like to do that. We're going to choose our schedule, and then we're right here. We're ready to check out. What's neat about this is it really has that set and forget feel. In other words, I can go right now and I can schedule out the next 6 months of marketing, then it's done. I don't have to worry about it. It's all done. Right now I have 3 months worth of marketing. We're good to go. I can go on vacation and know that, okay, my marketing's getting done for me. I'm still reaching people. I still have that top of mind awareness, but I don't have to sit here and do it all the time. You know, literally in the course of, 5 minutes, obviously it's taking longer because I'm talking, but in the course of a couple of minutes, you can really schedule your marketing for the next couple months and be done with it. Check that off the to-do list. We've got enough on our to-do list, right?
Yeah.
But you're only going to pay for that marketing as it goes out. In other words, I'll pay for this one today. If it goes out today, I'll pay for this one next month and this one the following month. So it's not as if I have to pay for it all up front. So I have that leeway and that comfort level, and I can come back in and change it at any time.
So you can kill a campaign if you feel like it was a dud or there was a mistake or...
Absolutely. Or if you want to change your list, or you think, okay, well, I've got a better list. Let me do that, or I want to add to it. You can go in and do that. So that's very powerful. And here we're going to talk a little bit later about a promo code that we're going to give you to help you save some money on your direct mail campaign. And you would put that right here, and then you would just check out. It's that easy. Let's show you.
So the follow me on Facebook, that example, I would just think that you probably want to send people, as you said, probably straight to a community page that has the name of the community or the town in it, right? You don't want to send your personal profile, or do you?
No, I would actually send them to a community page. You're absolutely right. Or in some cases, if it's not a community, it might be a niche market. In other words, if I've got a fan page set up for condo living, for example, that's a great way to do it, or a boaters world type thing. If what you specialize is kind of those boating communities or horse farms or whatever it is you specialize in, and you're passionate about, be that a community niche, be that a specific niche. In other words, maybe you love working with attorneys, or you love working with CPAs, or you love working with doctors, or you
one-bedroom condos.
Right, or condos, exactly. Whatever it is, I mean, it's really hard, as you know, to be number one in a market area for
everything.
Let's say, geographically. But it's not hard to be number one in a market area when you really are specific in that niche. I love some agents who really take that, heed that, and just really own a market. In South Florida, I have a broker that I've worked with, and she is so fired up about that in her office. I mean, all of her agents really fine-tuned. It's one of the first things she does when they come in to work for her is she's like, what are you passionate about? What do you really love to do? Because let's go back to that quote, find something you love to do, and you'll never work another day in your life, right? So if you're really passionate about working with people, then it's fun. It's not so much work. She's passionate about, she rides a Harley Davidson. She loves motorcycle people. I mean, that's just her thing. And she's got her website across her Harley jacket, and, any day of the week in the United States, there's a Harley ride somewhere, right? And that's where she gets all of her inspiration. It's also where she gets most of her clients.
I'm sure.
So that's her community page is about. There's another agent I know who loves working with the deaf. I mean, she's installed all the equipment in her office so that she can communicate best with them, and so that's what her niche market is. That's what her community page is. So it doesn't have to just be, Huntington Farms, community page. You can branch out on that, and you can have several community pages. You can do your farm area, have a page for that, or a blog for that. You can have a niche market, whether you're passionate about working with people who love to cook, or horse farms, or whatever it is, sailing. That really makes it fun, and it makes it easier for you to connect to your audience. And we really are kind of connecting to an audience. It's not, as a realtor.
I'm sure Ryan probably has
card.
a big smile on his face right now, as do I, because that's one of the core concepts that we talk about and try to really hammer home with our community. And by community, I mean our subscribers. That you cannot, being all things to all people does not work. You need to
It does
pick a
not.
niche, and you gave some great examples that I don't. I mean, we usually do a great job of giving some examples, but you gave some examples there that were were even different than any examples we'd ever shared. So really, really good stuff.
Thank you.
Can I sneak in here about the fan page again? This is just running through my mind because I can imagine some people on the call might not get how sending somebody straight to a fan page, how that turns into money directly. And just a best practice, if you're consistent about going and watching everybody who likes your page, there's a way to do that. And then you can do a personal contact, right?
Right.
Send a direct message and just say, thanks for liking my page or whatever. And start to get them to connect with your personal profile that way.
And that's a perfect example of how Julie talked about the 7 touches, what
Right.
it takes to relate the person to the brand. That may not be exactly how you said it, Julie, but that way you can get those touches faster and in more in different media. And so I would think that probably speeds up the process also. From connecting them, seeing the postcard, them seeing you on Facebook. Maybe they opted into a report, so they get an email from you, and it just I would think that could potentially speed up that process of becoming and staying top of mind with them.
Absolutely, and it is very powerful to layer your marketing that way. In other words, you're not just taking a one-step approach. You really do have to kind of have that 30,000-foot view a little bit when you're building your business plan and your marketing plan. If you kind of look at what you're trying to accomplish from a big picture, then you can kind of drill down and say, okay, well, how can I accomplish that? And you're absolutely right. By kind of layering your marketing, you definitely stand a better chance of not only connecting with that person, but really developing that relationship.
And differentiating yourself from your competition.
Exactly, and email marketing, that's the be-all, end-all for a lot of agents right now. But, I mean, you and I both know that a lot of stuff lands in that spam filter, and a lot of stuff gets ignored when things get crazy. So if you have the ability to reach out to those people in a multitude of ways, then that's just smart marketing,
Yep.
I bring up recipe cards, which are probably one of the oldest and more traditional direct mail pieces out there. It's not exactly direct response, but it can be if you're using it in a smart way. I know a realtor out west who has taken this to a whole new level. She loves to cook. She attends, I don't know if you have it in your area. I imagine they have it in most areas, a lot of cooking classes, and a lot of the restaurants will host cooking classes, and even some of the grocery stores now have cooking classes, and people connect and get together, and they learn from local chefs and that type of thing. She attends all of those, and what's cool about that is all those other people that attend, well, they become her clients. And what's neat about that is she calls herself the Recipe Realtor. She took this concept and these postcards, and she just ran all the way with it. I mean, one of the things that she does is as a housewarming gift when she sells the property is she gives them a recipe box, and then she sends them these recipe cards every month that they can tuck into the recipe box. So I just thought that was a really cool idea. It's a way of taking a concept and really running with it. And then she, like I said, she passes out her business cards, and she really gets to know those people in all those cooking classes. She finds she gets subscriber lists for magazines such as Cuisine and that type of thing. And she pays attention even when she's in the grocery store. If there's people that are picking up the magazines, the cooking magazines, she strikes up that conversation. Why? Because she has a connection with them. She too is passionate about cooking. She's passionate about sharing recipes, that kind of thing. And that's an easy way for her to say, oh, you love to cook too, so do I. Here's my card. I'd love to sign you up for my recipe of the month. So you can see how you can take that little idea. Oh, recipe cards. Oh, most agents would go, oh, recipe cards. That's old-fashioned, right? Well, it's working for her. She's she's rocking her market because she really is making that personal connection. So people aren't just looking at her, oh, well, she just wants to sell me a house, right? She's on the same page as me. She likes what I like. So, and that's where you do find that differentiator, is when you can find that connection with people. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So I just thought that was kind of a cool idea.
It's an awesome spin on an old concept.
It is, and I think that's, I guess that really resonates with me because I like to cook, so I think that's kind of a cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go back to the free reports for a moment too, because one of the things, one of the best tools you can have as far as really branding yourself, obviously, is really kind of using your current listing. So we like to do some things that help agents continuously get more listings. And one thing that I love and that I really wanted to share with people is our merchandising review, which is a really powerful piece. And the merchandising review is really kind of it's to put the monkey on the monkey's back. In other words, it really is a way to focus your sellers on the things that are really important to make sure that that listing is saleable. So this is a great piece that agents can put in their pre-listing package, to put in their listing package.
Yep, and one comment for folks using our systems, use our PDF uploader, upload this, and then offer it online, as a link, either behind a fan page wall or as part of a squeeze page offer, or just give it away on your blog as content.
Exactly. So this is cool for them to use. Obviously, the number one reason or thing that makes a home saleable is priced at or below market value. But it's really kind of a neat piece that agents can use to really enhance their listing experience and it's a differentiator. You know, a lot of people go into a listing appointment unsure of what to do, and we know pricing is a big deal. I mean, it is a big deal. So making sure that they have what they need to get things priced right and to get that listing saleable, so they can really get that word of mouth marketing.
Just a quick question about the expireds. Do you have them in a series that they just go sequentially, or do you kind of piece that together yourself?
We do. We actually have. We talked a little bit about that 3-7-27. That takes 3 contacts for them to know your name, 7 contacts for them to put your name with your business, and 27 to become a brand. So you'll see up here we actually have those systems in place. If you wanted to really become a brand, you've got 27 cards. There's 3 cards, or there's 7. I love the 7 series.
So you mean if I want to go into this local market that I'm not established in at all, I could just have an assistant literally run this program or set it up?
Yep, absolutely.
And just
a great way to really start building your business. I have a very good friend of mine who is just a powerhouse, and she came into the real estate industry a few years back when it was probably one of the worst times. She's actually up in your neck of the woods a little bit, Kathy Kasarin. I don't know if you know her, but just an amazing agent. But came in really without a whole lot of knowledge. She had a marketing background, not a real estate background, and came in, decided, okay, well, I really need to get up and running quick, and that's what she did. She went after expired. And every morning she got up, she looked for the expired list, she put a package together, and she was good to go. So you're right, it's absolutely a great market if you don't have a presence in an area. And there's this is the 7 series, very powerful. It's very direct response. It's asking the right questions. It's staying top of mind for what's in the mind of the expired at that time. So you can just choose these cards. You can upload your list every day or every week as the lists come out. So
I'm going to grill you a little bit. So if I want to make this part of my daily routine, and I want to get up and I say every morning at 9, I'm going to feed Prospects Plus the new expireds that I find that I want to go after. Is that a 5-minute commitment, a 20? Like, how technical, do I manually type it in, or do I have to create a CSV?
Manually type it in. In fact, let's say we're going to purchase this campaign. Just do standard cards. So we've got 7 cards that are going to go out to today's expired. So maybe there's 2 expireds on my list today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to choose these cards. Granted, it goes kind of slow, like I said when you were on the webinar.
We've used some of your competitors. This is good. I've used some of them. It's a half-hour commitment, and if you have to wait forever for your computer to load all the time, you're just not going to be able to do this. So that's why I'm asking these questions.
Yeah, it can be very frustrating. And once you kind of get in, I mean, your first time obviously is going to take a little more time because you got to figure out what you want to say and that type of thing. But if you're going to use the same thing every time, then it's kind of a lock and load. So say, I've got all this, I've chose my campaign, especially if you already know what you want to do. I mean, a lot of people spend a lot of time trying to figure out which cards, but this makes it easy. So now I want to just create a list because I've got 2 names and I just want to create a new list for today. So I'm going to go in Joe Smith. That's an original name, right? 123 Main Street, Tampa, Florida. So we're going to add Joe because his name came up on the expired list this morning, and we're going to add Mark Jones, another original name. Main Street, Orlando. We're going to add that. We're going to save our list. We'll call it expired, if I can spell. 7/13/11. We're going to choose that list. I'm going to want to have this go out pretty frequently, so I'm going to send them one a week for the next several weeks. If you want to do it quicker than that, I can go in and actually say this one's going to go today. This one's going to go on the 18th. This one's going to go on the 25th. So you can go in and change that however you like. Or you can just do the 7, every 7 days and be done with it and make that quick. We're going to choose the schedule and check out. And you're good to go.
Okay. So great. You're about, after your initial setup, you're about 10 minutes in every day by the time you choose a few, or if you do it once a week, you just upload a whole list.
Right, and that all depends on, how quickly you can add the names, that type of thing. But really, I would say 10 minutes is pretty average. It's, and even less, like I said, once you've got it down to a science. Once you know what you already want to say, you know which cards you're going to use, that type of thing, then it's just fast and easy.
Yep, and the nice thing is you can throttle this, right? You could set aside a percentage of every commission for this and grow your business slow and steady as you grow.
Absolutely, and the nice thing about this too is that once you like if you listed that expired, then you can come back into your account and you can stop that mailing. In other words, I don't want to send to that person now because I've listed them. Or instead of stopping that mailing, a smart agent would then move that person to their sphere of influence list and put them on a monthly drip campaign.
Right. Got it. And then in our traffic driving, one of the things I'm thinking about now, there are ways to actually track. I don't know if you talk a lot about that. Track who's showing up too, right? By using personalized URLs and things like that.
Absolutely.
Short URLs with Bitly and things like that.
I think I love the use of pearls in your marketing, and that's what's kind of cool about doing the community fan pages, is that you do have the ability to send them to a specific area, ask them to like it, give them some value add, have them respond to your blog or your Facebook page or Twitter, and that allows you to start seeing, okay, where am I getting results, where am I getting the traffic.
Right. Cool.
Very cool. Any specific questions for me? I feel like I've just been kind of rambling over here.
No, this has been great. I would say, why don't we go ahead and show, while Ryan and I maybe process what other questions we might ask, why don't we go ahead and maybe give them the code that they can use to get a discount?
Okay. So if you guys would just bookmark prospectsplus.com, and then where we showed you at that checkout, you can use a promo code RETech, and you can save 10% off your next order.
Cool.
And it's a great way to save. It's a great way to kind of try it for a little bit less. The postcards are very reasonable. Like I said, if you are looking to build a list, that's just 8 cents a record, so that's very affordable. We can talk a little bit about postcard pricing. We're very competitive. If I want to send 100 postcards out a month to my sphere of influence, I've got 100 people I really want to stay connected with, it'll only cost me $54 a month for the standard cards, which is, that's a great value.
That's really affordable.
Really affordable. And that's all sent first class. And what's important to note about that is there's a lot of people that send bulk mail and that type of thing, but what's great about first class, especially in today's market, is that it gives you the ability to take people off the list. In other words, with first class, you're going to get all of the returns. So if there's somebody that is no longer at that address or the address is no longer good, then you can take them off the next list. And that way you're not paying for postage for a postcard that's not going anywhere. So it really gives you the ability to really manage your list and manage your list well. And that kind of goes back to where I started, in that really the core of your business is building that book of business, is building that list. So it's not just a mailing list. It really is a sphere of influence that has influence. And that's part of just that overall management. You can make sure that you're sending it to the right people and that you're connecting with people. So I just love that idea.
Can I ask a little bit of a technical question? Can you merge fields into the postcard? So if you have a list and you have people's names or addresses, can you actually merge that into the content of the postcard?
Can you merge it? And you can merge your list together if that's what you're asking. If you're merging it into in other words, do we do variable text? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Not in this system.
Okay.
We do have some variable text options, but not on this system. This system is designed to just be as simple and fast for agents to use. We found in a lot of ways that when we really try to make it really, really cool, unless you're doing it for them, agents really have a hard time with it. So this makes it really simple for them to just get their marketing, do that set and forget, which is so important, and get them on to doing what they do best and should be focused on, which are those income-producing activities like prospecting, presenting, and closing. So.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Well, to get your 10% off, it's RETECH. Just use the promo code RETECH. And Ryan, can you think of any other questions for Julie? I think.
Well, I can think of some. I'm thinking a little personally here, but I want to know more about that variable text, and we'll probably put something about.
Well, maybe we'll do a follow-up with that. Also, below this, I'm sure wherever people are watching this, below this there'll be a place to ask questions. And so,
wonderful.
If there's anything that we didn't think to ask Julie, just fill out below, and we'll make sure if we can't answer it, we'll get with Julie and make sure that you get an answer. But I would so here's what I would do immediately after watching this. First of all, sign up for your free account so you can start using the free reports and so forth in your marketing. Then use the promo code, the RETECH promo code, to save 10% and try it out. Just run something through, even if it's just a couple of expireds or something, just so you can get used to the platform. It's super simple to use and extremely effective and cost effective. And it's a much more targeted approach than other sort of paid offline marketing and advertising avenues. So I would definitely do that. Plus, I'm sure Ryan and I will come up with some follow-up videos on other ideas of things that we see that people can use integrated with what our community has with our membership and some of our platforms and programs and so forth.
Sounds great. And if they run into trouble and they need help, they can always call this number right here, and somebody will be on the line to help them as well. So
there you go.
It is super simple. It doesn't take a lot to get through it. So, but obviously, if they need help, they can call that 800 number, and somebody will be on the line to help walk them through.
Awesome.
Quick question. I'm sorry. QR codes. Are those integrated naturally, or would the agent create a QR code outside of the system and then put it into a postcard?
In this particular system, they would create it outside and put it in the postcard.
Okay.
A lot of people are using that, as their logo, that type of thing. So it's pretty cool. We will talk another time. I know we've talked in the past about the gettinglistings.sold.com system, and that does integrate all the things that we've talked about a little bit, or we've kind of touched on things like QR codes and things like variable text and that type of thing. So it's a different system. And it takes a lot more explanation as far as it's simple to use, but it's a little bit different than what we're talking about now.
Well, I'm sure just by us mentioning that, our community is going to be on us to do
Yeah.
that. So
After we get off today, I'll get access, right, Josh? We'll get access,
yep.
and I'm probably going to record today. That was the plan. We're going to record anything and everything we can to think of in connection with this stuff. So
And
we're not going to hold
then
anything.
we'll get with Julie to schedule a follow-up time where maybe we'll talk about that getting listings sold platform.
Absolutely. I think that would be great. And here, I'll make sure that we plug that too. If you like, look, where is it? Na-na-na-na. They can kind of go through.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about pricing. That's my ebook. It's my one of my first ebooks, which was very exciting, which was 21 ways to get the listings priced right. So if anybody's looking for pricing strategies, that's in there too.
Awesome. Well, Julie, thanks again for everybody listening. If you're not already have an account with Prospects Plus, sign up for an account. Make sure in your first order you use the code RETEX so you can save 10%. If you've got any questions, you can post them below. You can call their 800 number. And we'll look forward to getting back with Julie for more great information. And again, thanks for your time. And get out and start using this so you can grow your business.
Awesome.
Thanks, Julie.
Great talking with you guys.
You too. Thanks, Julie.
Thank you.
Bye.